Good morning once again. Welcome to the second segment of my All About Real Estate, but this time we'll bring you real estate service news. Being a Rotary service news, I'm sorry. So in my second segment now is about Rotary, and now it's Rotary service news. So as a Rotarian, it's my privilege and my honor to guest here today somebody who's very much popular, I would say popular in the Rotary District 3830. Not only that he is really a serviceman, a service above self man, but he really is a person who's very much aimed and loved by the many Rotarians in the District 3830. So our guest today he's an orthopedic surgeon, and he has been in practice he was in practice for 15 years as a orthopedic surgeon in Chicago. He worked there for 15 years, and then in 2001 he went back here to the Philippines to do his private practice, and now he's doing it at the World City Medical Center. And at the same time, he is the charter president of the Rotary Club of Makati, San Miguel. So fellow Rotarians viewing right now, please welcome here on the show Dr. Tony Pobre. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning, Emi. Thank you for inviting me here to your prestigious program.
Well, my pleasure.
And to represent our district in whatever we are doing now with regards to the disaster relief and control by the district.
Yes, let us first give a hello, good morning to our district governor.
Yes, District Governor Sid Garcia, 3780. Good morning to you.
Good morning,
and we
Gov.
hope that you are listening to us, and maybe we can do the best that we can to tell to the people what Rotary has been doing lately.
Yes. Actually, Rotary has been very active in doing all this, not only for this disaster problem, how to address the disaster calamity problem, but other than that, the many community service that we're doing. In my interview with past President Peps Bengson and the other Rotarians who were here on board, we talked a lot of the many projects that Rotary is doing, specifically our district, 3830, with under Governor Sid Garcia. Now, Doc, being a doctor, of course, we would like to get your inputs or your tips or your suggestions on how we would be able to address the many problems, illnesses that is brought about by this calamity problem after this flooding. So, Doc, can you tell more about it?
Yes. Initially, we had the first stage of helping the poor and those affected by the typhoon. So the first stage of the program of the disaster relief was an instinct of all Rotarians to
provide relief.
To provide relief. So most of the goods were relayed and deposited at the Rotary Center, and they were able to repack them and distribute them. And it was my warning to all of them that the next stage should be the most dangerous part, wherein the survivors of the floods might suffer a worse consequence, that is the onset of epidemics. As we look around, as a Rotarian, we move around and we saw the district full of uncollected garbages. Next, the water was not clean, it was not potable, and there were flies all over the area. And I look at it as a potential source of diseases. Like, for instance, we have this possibility of having a dysentery and cholera because of the improper food handling and the dirty water that they have. Second would be maybe a recurrence of the H1 virus. It could come back. And third, we also have the possibility of having the onset of epidemic on leptospirosis.
Okay.
Yeah, leptospirosis.
Okay, Doc. If I may ask, no? So because right now, the concern of our district really is to be of service, no, to the many communities who were really affected by the flood, by this ondoy. And then you said, have you seen the many uncollected garbages and the flies? That could really create another more serious problem, which you call epidemic is the term.
Yes.
And you mentioned about the dysentery and the cholera, and which is the most the greatest of all is the leptospirosis.
The leptospirosis, yes.
Okay, can you talk more about the leptospirosis and paano ba nila, how would they acquire it? I mean, maybe most of them had acquired it.
Leptospirosis is actually a disease of the human as well as animals. And these animals are usually dogs, cats, rodents like the rats. We have the cattle or the pigs and other wild animals. It usually is found in their urine.
So
and
their
now,
urine.
if we eat water or we drink water or eat food contaminated with the urine of these animals, we acquire the disease of leptospirosis. In animals, it is not usually obvious to them. You don't see any signs and symptoms. But in man, they usually start with having severe headaches. Next, they would have high fever and chills. They would start to vomit. There is diarrhea. Their skin becomes yellow, which we call jaundice. The eyes become red. And sometimes they have skin rashes. Those are the signs that these people are suffering from leptospirosis.
Oh, so Doc, and normally how soon would this manifestation show up? The severe headache, the high fever, the vomiting, nag-diarrhea sila,